Welcome to episode 3 of the Toxic Boys podcast. Ari from Manhattan, Jay from Florida, Poppa left in the building. We are the Toxic Boys. We have some very special guests we want to shout out. Jake D, shout out to you. Chip, Crew Life, salute to you, brother. And Blood of the Panda, There's Obi-Wan Kenobi over there. Shout outs to you as well. Thank you all for coming. It's episode 3 of the Toxic Boys. So Nishi, the first lady of the Toxic Boys.
Nishi.
Welcome as well. And Pastor Claudio, salute to you. And to everyone else. So Pastor goes flu game. Surprise Papa's not wearing the 45 right now. But so a lot to uncover right now, a lot to unpack over last week. The Knicks, since the last time we met, they played the Charlotte Hornets on the Wednesday. They played the Bucks on the Friday, and they played the Cavs on Sunday. They went 1-2. They beat the Hornets in an overtime thriller when Jalen Brunson fucking popped off. Then in the Milwaukee, we're just outclassed by championship team. It happens like that. And then on Sunday, Spida, I'm sure Jay's going to want to touch on this, but Spida, I think, sent a little signal to the Knicks front office on, what they're willing to pay and things like that. So we went one signal to the Knicks. What happened there?
You're good. I just had you guys on YouTube.
Oh, you're on YouTube? All right, yeah. So 1-2. We feel, and what are your thoughts? Let's start with you, Jay. Jay, what are your thoughts on the last 3 games last week?
Man, the type of pom-pom waving I saw from this fan base after they beat the Hornets and Pistons, bro, was disgusting, bro. Like, it was like we already punched the card to the playoffs. This is a long season. I'm not going to say that we're going to suck, but we're not. I mean, we're going to be a mediocre team, a middle-of-the-pack team. Like, this is my beef with Leon Rose and them. Like, you put yourself in a position where you don't seal the deal. And we'll get into the whole Donovan Mitchell thing, but you don't seal the deal for a real superstar. And then you get the fans excited after you beat 2 mediocre teams. When you play playoff teams, you get your ass whooped. Let's see what happens tomorrow against the Hawks. But, I mean, a typical up-and-down week for a team that's mediocre, man, a 500 team. You beat the team that you should beat, you get washed by the teams that are playoff teams. Point blank period. How it plays out. But I do have some stats to go with what's going on with the team. And they got to get better, man. As the season goes by, I've been saying this for the last couple shows, the gauntlet of the schedule is going to happen in the next 2 weeks or so, all the way to Thanksgiving. You're going to be on the road a lot of these games. You're going to play a lot of playoff teams, a lot of superstars. So they're going to have to shoot better, man. Shooting is a big issue for this team. They're going to have to shoot better. They're going to have to get into offense earlier. They got to improve, man. They got to improve. What you think of Pop Left?
All right. I gotta do this for the people.
Let's do it, baby.
Woo! Oh God.
And now your Chicago Bulls.
Huh?
At guard.
Uh-huh.
From North Carolina.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan.
Oh my God, I'm dying.
Jesus Christ. I still get anxiety from that damn intro, man. I can't. Terrible.
Yeah, man. I got the flu. I'm sick as shit, but nothing compares to how sick I am of Mitchell Robinson getting more fouls and points.
Jesus.
He's really not worth the money. Like,
Jesus.
He's really not like that. He's nothing to write home about on the offense side. Like, you can't say anything good about him other than he can dunk and he's 7 foot. Like, that should be a given. He's played 3 games this year against elite center talent, or just regular centers. Steven Adams, Brooke Lopez, Jared Allen, who's he's an all-star, even though he doesn't dress like it. And then Giannis, of course, and he just got completely outclassed. Like, put us in a position where we have a glorified power forward making hustle plays in his absence. We have a guy in Jericho Sims who's 6'9", 6'10", has an incredible vertical, actually sets picks. Mitchell Robinson doesn't set any picks. He does absolutely nothing on the offensive side of the floor. And he bullies, to his credit, he bullies like less experienced, less savvy talent. But anybody that's matched up on his level is going to abuse him. And for me, that's not good enough. And I feel like that's put us in a position defensively where we've had to stray so far away from our game plan. And as an anchor, as a guy who we signed to be here 4 years, $60 million, he's had an atrocious beginning to the season. And there's no way around it.
Brother, double the minutes of Mitchell Robinson. Double.
I need him to play. Like, I need him to not get in foul trouble. I mean, like, I just like Isaiah Hartenstein, he's all right, but Mitchell brings a dynamic on defense when he's going that he should be able to withstand. It makes it easier for these guys to close out. It makes it easier for these guys to say, all right, I lost my man. I could pinch in a rotation here and there. Without him on the floor, we're a completely different team. And I'll get to the offensive side of the basket, but give me a second.
Word, yeah. So listen, man. I was kind of with you on the Mitch shit. I feel like you could get 80% of the production from Mitchell Robinson for 20% of the price.
Absolutely.
Jericho Sims is just as athletic. He's just, he makes like $3 million a year. Not like he's making literally like 1/5, 1/6 of what Mitchell Robinson is making. And yeah, Mitchell Robinson's he's an offensive liability. He's an offensive liability. He gets in too much foul trouble. The only thing that he's like really been shown to be good at is offensive rebounding, and that is important. But
right,
if you could replace that, if you could replace 80% of that value for 20% of the amount of salary, especially with no injury risk, I don't see why you don't do that. So I was also against the Mitch signing.
Right,
they could have traded him and just got like a pick back or a wing back or something. That's what I would have done with regards to Mitch. But for me, the moral of the story of this past week is that I learned absolutely nothing new whatsoever about the Knicks. Right. What did I say going into this? 500 team. What's our record? 500. What team should have we beat? We should have beaten the Hornets, the Pistons, and who was the other team that beat the Wizards or the Pacers? Who was it?
I don't know, bro. I think
the Magic. The Magic. It was the Magic, Pistons, and Hornets. We should beat those teams. So obviously,
right.
I thought we lost to the teams that we would have lost to: the Memphis, Cleveland, Milwaukee. So I called it like anyone with a half a brain would have figured that we'd be 3-3 right here. I haven't even learned anything from the players really. Jalen Brunson has been what I expected. Yeah, he went off against Dennis Smith Jr., but who doesn't go off against Dennis Smith Jr.? Right. Guy's a turnstile. And he got outclassed by Donovan Mitchell, and he got outclassed by John Morant, and Drew Holiday also outclassed him to a certain standpoint. So he's exactly where I would like. And listen, I'm not low on Brunson at all. He's probably the best player on the team, but he's what I expected him to be, the 15th, the 12th to 15th best point guard in the NBA, right? Not a superstar, not an all-star. What else did I learn? Nothing else really, except that RJ continues to start slow. I'm sure Jay's going to get into that in a second. RJ continues to start slow. Obi's still, he needs work on the defensive end, like every player on the Knicks pretty much. But he's deserved to play more minutes. His analytics on every level, from offensive rating, even defensive rating, net rating, player efficiency rating, PER, all higher than Randle. He's playing less minutes than he played last year. And I knew that, like, this is very predictable, is what I'm saying. This is all very predictable what happened. And
Ari, let's see what's gonna happen for the next week. I mean, we play Atlanta tomorrow, as we know.
They're better than us, by the way.
Philly,
They're
Atlanta,
better than us.
yeah,
Philly, Boston, Minnesota.
They're better than us.
So could
they're
we?
all better than us, if we're going to be honest.
Could we
There's
lose?
nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with saying that another NBA team is better than you until you prove otherwise. By the way, there's like literally nothing wrong with it.
Well,
It doesn't make you less
worse
of a
than that.
fan. It
even
makes you
worse.
objective. It makes you understand that top end talent determines, favoritism within this league. Every one of those teams that you mentioned, either that we lost against the Bucks, title contender, Giannis. We lost against Donovan Mitchell, no Darius Garland. Doesn't matter because he makes Usman better. He makes Wade better. He makes Kevin Love. I like Jalen Brunson, but he's not a guy that's just going to change the whole dynamic of a basketball court from possession to possession. Now, you look at the Hawks, Trae Young changes basketball when he crosses half court, and they got DeJounte Murray. They're going for competition. Boston Celtics, NBA Finals.
Nothing to say there, obviously.
Minnesota, they get Rudy Gobert on top of having Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns. Brooklyn Nets, they're going through a lot right now, and it's objectively funny. But you're telling me you wouldn't want, and in a world of basketball, you're telling me you wouldn't want their talent versus our talent, please. So the Knicks, the good thing is that the NBA is a professional sport, and any team can get got clearly. And you play the circumstances on your schedule. So the Knicks got to find a way, especially over the next 2 games, to not let this thing slip. They could lose against Atlanta, but they got to come back and win Philly. They could win against Atlanta and lose against Philly, but they lose both those.
So what's your record?
Now the season's slipping away.
What's your record prediction? Next 5 games. I got them at 1-5. I think they beat Atlanta, but I think they lose the next 4 games.
Well, I would hope that they can find a way to win 2 out of 3 at home. That's my hope. I don't think they're going to beat
Philly at home.
They're
playing the Celtics.
They're playing the Celtics and the Hawks on the home, sandwiched by a game against the Sixers. I don't feel confident. I wouldn't bet money on the Knicks in any of these games. The Knicks are the rightful underdog in every single one of these games. Because literally the only player that what you're going to get every night out is Jalen Brunson. He's the only guy on the team that he knows what he's doing. Everybody else is just figuring it out. And I'm for it. Like, I'm for the growing pains, especially from the younger guys. I'm for it. I get it that it's not going to be a night-to-night, success. But, that's why I said at the beginning of the year, this team is not about wins and losses. Only like the pom-pom Knicks City Dancer fans are making it about wins and losses. The journey of this season is so much more important to the talent that we have in that locker room and how we're developing it.
That's 1,000% true. That is well said, Papa. That's the take.
Terrible. Yo, but Brunson got 53 assists. I think the next closest person got like 30 something, 20 something. So Brunson's doing his job, man. I mean, if you look at the players, and I got my handy dandy stat sheet. Randle's averaging 20 points a game, but then he's shooting 6 for 25, 24% from 3. RJ's been a complete fucking cone on defense. Can't fight over screens, can't stay in front of guys, can't jump over a text, like I've been saying for a couple of years. Sorry, Heck. But I mean, he's been a cone on defense. He's averaging 17 points, but he's 7 for 32 from 3. He's shooting 21%. Quick is getting 25 minutes a night because he's the dude. He's the dude boy. He's the favorite. He's averaging 8 points a game, 8 for 26 from 3, shooting 30%. You know what I'm saying? Reddish is shooting 6 for 15 from 3, 40%. So he's up there. Fournier is shooting 40% from 3. So I mean, overall, the guys that they play a lot of minutes got to shoot better. They just got to put the ball in the basket. Like, you can't be this 3. The third best unit behind the first and the unit that I've noticed is that Reddish, Brunson, RJ, ihart, and Randle unit. So that unit's actually playing good. That unit's scoring 20 points a game. So if Tibbs found something, if Tibbs wants to at least try to be experimental, try to mix it up a little bit, play that unit some more, play the unit with Grimes integrated in. Just don't.
I want to say, to me, the season doesn't start until that guy is healthy, bro.
Grimes,
Like
right?
until I see Quentin Grimes on the court, because Quentin Grimes, for all his limitations, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I
He doesn't
gotta.
even have, honestly, he doesn't even have many limitations.
But
Bro.
I'm saying what people like, he comes with a ceiling. It's very like kind of like seen, right?
Yeah,
Like he's not Anthony Edwards, right? He's not Scotty Barnes, right? He's not he's not one of these young freakish talents, right?
Neither's RJ though.
But the thing about Quentin Grimes is he fits the mold with Jalen Brunson. Meaning, from night to night, I know that Quentin Grimes is not going to force things, right? I know that he's going to be sound, solid defensively. I know he's not going to be aloof defensively. He's going to match up on the perimeter with Donovan Mitchell. The Knicks lost the game on Sunday night because they couldn't match up with Donovan Mitchell. They couldn't match up in pick and pops. Right. And we need more two-way players on the court to survive the schedule that we're facing. And I saw Quentin Grimes is questionable for tomorrow night. Cam Reddish is also questionable for tomorrow night.
I bet you only one of them is playing.
I would love to see both of them play. Yeah, I would love to see both of them play in spite of Evan Fournier. Yeah. But Evan, every time I'll say this right now, bro. Like, I hope I don't get flack for this, but bro, every time I see that starting five on the court, I feel like turning the channel, bro. I don't feel like watching the game. Yeah. I'll be honest. And some people are gonna be like, "How do you not enjoy the Knicks?" Bro, I sat here and watched Quintel Woods being a prospect for us. I sat here and watched Anthony Randolph. So all y'all who just became Knicks fans and whatnot because COVID happened, or you just became a Knicks fan because of Carmelo, like, I salute you, bro. But like, don't talk about me when I'm telling you, like, I'm gonna watch the shit. But like, every time I see Fournier and Randall on the court with RJ, it's the most disgusting Knicks product because that lineup is the worst, obviously. It's because that, like, those players should not be playing together. Like, Brunson and Fournier should not be in a backcourt together, right? RJ and Randall should not be like exclusively playing with each other. They cancel each other out. So it's about damn time that Quentin Grimes' foot heals up. It's about damn time that Fournier decreases back to the bench. Should not be starting. And we should always hold firm on the fact that we just played Donovan Mitchell. We just played the Cleveland Cavaliers. We just played the team that swooped in and took our offseason target from us. And what do we have left in the cupboard? We have Obi Toppin, a bench player. We have Emmanuel Quickley, a bench player. We have Quentin Grimes, a bench player. We have Mitchell Robinson, a glorified bench player because he barely plays. We have and then like across the lineup is guys figuring it out in the middle of that. So what are you doing? What's the plan? You told me in the email, Mr. Noah Barnes from MSG. You told me in the email that we're competing, we're contending, and we're developing at the same damn time. Shout out to Future, right? Wow. Contending and competing and developing at the same damn time. I see Evan Fournier guarding Donovan Mitchell. That's not developing. That's not competing. That's losing. That's embarrassing. That's unwatchable.
That's what that is.
They're number 19 in OPPG, so I mean they're getting scored on easy. Hopefully Grimes can at least.
That's when he's going to benefit. That's where he's going to benefit. And this is important. I want to show this right here. Nick Scar, shout out to you. We have 3 years of evidence that RJ and Randall's games don't mesh well. They rarely had a good game on the same night. I think they had a good game twice on the same night in the entire time they've been together. And this takes me to my whole point about trading Randall. We don't have to get into that. Everybody knows that, right? But first of all, I'm looking at this shit right now, and I see 21 of you motherfuckers in here, and I see 5 likes. Get that like button up. I'll take a shot of this, and then we'll continue. But what I want to talk about, hit that like button, all right? So what I want to talk about is
subscribe.
subscribe and hit the notification bell. And you can find us on all social media platforms, Spotify, Alexis. I don't know. But what I was going to say is I want to talk about the purgatory aspect of this thing, right? So clearly, and listen, this is what I've been saying. This is just to clarify my take. I never said Brunson was a bad player. All right. I never said that he sucks or anything like that. I said two things about Brunson. I said, number one, I wouldn't sign him. And I said, number two, we overpaid for him. So let me clarify this. So my whole thing is by signing Brunson, you're making a win now move, and you're just not a win now team, right? So what are you doing? You're investing $300-something million into RJ, Brunson, and Randle, okay? So you have like 70% of your cap tied into those three guys, giving you 30% of the cap tied into Poppa Left's favorite player, and Mitch Robinson, and then like other players, right? And what I was saying is that I didn't want to do that because I wanted to keep the rebuild organic, see what IQ could do at point guard, let Obi play a bunch of minutes. Maybe one of them pops. If they don't, you get a top pick, you run it back, keep the cap flexible for 2024, right? That was my take, right? I said we overpaid on Brunson because we were not bidding against anybody. We did not bid against literally anybody. There's no one in the market for Jalen Brunson except the New York Knicks and the Dallas Mavericks, right? So I said we overpaid for him, not necessarily because we overpaid for him, but because we bought him at his highest value right off of a great playoff series he had without Luka for some of it, and you're buying him at the top, right? So I'm saying if we're buying a player at the top, bidding against nobody, whether or not it's overpaid, it is a different situation. The question you should be asking is, could you have got him for a cheaper price? And I think you could have. But whatever. God's son get paid, and he's a good player. He's probably the only player that's actually worth the money right now.
Bro, he's wasting time on the Knicks. I keep telling you, like, if he was serious about winning and not being maybe in the tri-state area home, bro, he should be on Dallas balling, bro. Like, this team is.
But that's not his path. He's on the Neymar path. I don't know if you follow soccer, but he's on the Neymar path. So basically, like Neymar Jr. Well, obviously he's not Neymar. So basically, Neymar is playing on Barcelona behind Messi. Well, with Messi. Messi is the best player in the world. In my opinion, he was the second. I know I'm going to get flack for that, but he's the best player in the world. And then Neymar was like the fourth or third best player. And he wanted to prove to himself that it was like a Kyrie situation without LeBron. He wanted to prove to himself that he could be his own team. And that's kind of the Brunson path. Obviously not on that level, but he wanted to prove that he could be a starting point guard and manage his own team. That was the path he's on. And yeah, he's wasting his time right now. And which takes me to my point that I want to discuss to the chat. So personally, like I opened this with 3-3. The three teams I thought we'd beat. The three times that I thought we would lose to, we lost to. We're a 500 team. I predicted that this team would literally win 41 games, go 500, right? I predicted that. And what does that mean? That means you're either a first-round sweep or you're the 12th or 13th pick in the draft, right? So to me, that's the worst place to be in the NBA because you're not getting, like in the NBA, it's not stars, but acquiring talent, right? It's like you're either getting a high pick in the lottery or you're competing, right? When you're stuck in the middle, you're fucked.
But you got things that like they enjoy this. Like they enjoy crumbs. They enjoy the mystery. They enjoy the purgatory. Like this is something that they're into. Like we got to make a decision in our mind. Like we can't put the entertainment of going to the garden and spending $50 for beers and enjoying ourselves.
That's the point. That's the key right there. The thing about it is, if you live in Memphis or you live in freaking, I don't know, Oklahoma City, right? Like you're going to those games because you're a fan, like you like that team, right? Like that's the reason why you're going. In New York, there's so many people here, and there's so many tourists, and there's so much whatever that people just want to be seen at the Garden. There's something different to do. It's just another fucking Friday, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem. That's the problem. And They know this. They know
They
that
gotta
it's
win. They gotta win. They gotta win games against the Hawks. They gotta win games against the Celtics. If they want to sell it to me, that's how they do it.
Yeah, but they're saying they could just find some guy here from freaking
And
Belgium to take those tickets who doesn't
Right,
care.
right. I can't look. They lost the last 2 games. They didn't show me that they couldn't win the last 2 games, but they showed me a sincere disadvantage that they have in the last 2 games, which is when the other team has a star and you don't, when you're up by 9 and the other star gets going, right? Like, or you're on an 18-0 run against you and their whole team is in sync and going, you're clearly going to be outmatched. You're going to get steamrolled, bro. And what bothered me about the Cleveland game is that we were up 9, and it felt like the second we got up that margin, we started to play like a team that was just waiting to lose. So it's not the Pistons, it's not the Magic, it's not the Hornets. I don't care what the Hornets do in these games, bro. Like, I don't care what the Hornets are like the Dolphins with Lamar Miller at the Wildcat, bro. Like, yeah, that shit is not sustainable. Don't tell me about the Hornets fucking playing well and they're winning game. Don't tell me about that shit, because they got a bunch of scrubs, bro. Let's call it for what it is.
Dude.
Yeah.
Dude, that was crazy, by the way, Jay. Like the way Knicks Twitter reacted to the Knicks beating the Hornets at home in overtime without their 2 best players.
Because here's the thing. The team was down 120 to 115 with a minute and a half left. If they would have lost that game, the same people, and I don't even care. Like, one thing that I don't really care about fans and how they fan and anything. I just think, like, yo, like, it was one day where I was like, all right, we'll see. Like, I'm down for this team to go 5-1. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think they're gonna go 3-3. But I'm down. But one thing, like, people coming at us and say, like, oh, we're rooting for the team to lose, or oh, we have this confirmation bias, bro. I'm telling you right now, the Knicks are just the next 5 games, they will be the underdog, bro, because they deserve to be. They're not at that level, and there's nothing wrong with that. Right. That's where they are right now. I wish they were.
I think there is some. I think that is something wrong to be there right now, because, like, it's one thing if you weren't capped out and we were 500. But when you're capped out and you're 500 and you're capped out, like, what, like. And that's the conversation Knicks Twitter needs to have, and, like, just people here need to have, is like, okay, we're in the spot. How do we get better? What's the plan? Like,
this regime, more than any other regime, kind of doesn't have. I can't, like, remember past regimes, it would be so bad, but I could see into the future a little bit. With this team, like, after they missed out on Donovan Mitchell and they're running it back with the way that the guys look right now. Like, I don't see a ceiling on this roster. I don't see it.
No,
there's give it more time. I don't see it. So I don't even see the next move around the corner, because if I don't see any ceiling on this roster, then what is the NBA going to look at this roster like?
So what are they doing then? What are we doing?
We know what they're doing, Jay. It's what fucking Anthony MSG told us in our space.
Trying to make the playoffs.
They're trying to make the playoffs, bro. That's it. They're trying to make the playoffs. And if you say that you're a hater, I'm
gonna pull up the Eastern Conference, bro.
Waving is ridiculous. How different do you think this team looks with Spider? I know Ari, you didn't want to really trade for him, but like if you give
it's a regular season team. It's a great regular season team.
Right.
They ain't winning the playoffs, so they're not beating Boston. What do you think Boston gonna do in the playoffs? Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, switch. Right. Brunson on Tatum, double team, kick out 3. It's like, come on.
Yeah, bro. With the exception of the Heat and the Nets, the cream is gonna rise to the top.
Bro, they're wasting our time. The regime is.
Let me run down these records, right? And it's early.
Shout out to Todd, though.
Shout out to Todd. Thank you, Todd. I see your point. I agree to an extent, but if any of the mid kids are good, he'll bring it out. Kind of like CP3 did with the Suns.
He's talking about Brunson, and listen, I'm not Todd. I'm not hating on Brunson. I think he's worth the money, but he's what I expected. He ain't this fucking all-star.
He's a shoot first guy. He's a shoot first guy, and it takes a lot for him to get to his spot. He'll get there. but it
Bro,
takes a lot of dribbling. It takes a lot of one-on-one.
bro,
So I'm gonna go through, if you don't mind, right? I'm gonna go through these teams, right? And it's enough. It's not like a crazy sample size, but it's enough to show you where this Eastern Conference really at right now.
before you go to the teams, the three guys with the ball in their hand the most, Brunson, Quickly, and Rose are shoot first guys, bro. If you look at the numbers,
And Randall.
and Randall, bro, nobody can get involved outside those type of the archetype of this team is ridiculous, bro. Like,
Yeah,
I'm over this.
we have a lot of shoot first guys with poor shot selection. It's not a good combination,
bro. Like it's not a vibe. It's not everything's a vibe shot selection. Like I don't care about you Quickly. I don't care about the next contract. I don't care about what you're trying to accomplish. Like get people involved, bro. Move the ball around. Rose the same thing. I don't care about your next NBA contract. I don't care about you riding off into the wind. Randall, you already got paid. RJ, you got paid. Like get guys involved.
Yeah.
The rock.
The thing is with a team like this, they gotta pride themselves on defense. They gotta pride themselves on transition. If they're just playing half court versus half court, most nights they're gonna lose. Bucks 6-0, Cavs 5-1. No Darius Garland, right? So there are people out there said I don't believe in the Cavaliers. Okay, the Celtics 4-2. The Raptors, forget about they're 4-3. Forget about the record. They're a genius basketball organization that should be respected. Okay, they're 4-3. The Hawks, Knicks fans are so fucking butthurt about losing to the Hawks because it was their first moment in so long. But like the amount of horseshit Knicks takes that come about the Hawks' talent to me is insane. Like Trae Young is a transcendent basketball player. Over the past 3 years, he stoked fear in the hearts of NBA champion contenders. I don't know what else you need that Atlanta team to do other than make it to the NBA Finals for you to wake the fuck up. They're coming. They have talent. They can beat anybody on any night because their three-point shooting is elite, okay? The Knicks are at 3-3. The Sixers are at 4-4, okay? So that's 7 seeds right there. Underneath the Knicks, right? The Wizards are 3-4, okay? The Bulls are 3-4. The Hornets are 3-4. The Pacers are 3-5. And then here are the two teams that you would expect to get their shit together, which is the Nets and the Heat at 2-5, with the bottom of the Eastern Conference bottomed out by the Wembanyama, Scoot Hendersons, and the Pistons and Magic. So, like, the Knicks had a very good start because they did everything they were supposed to do on their schedule. They lost against Memphis. They battled hard, right? They beat the shit out of the Pistons and the Magic for the most part. They beat the Hornets. Fine. You know what? A criticism is a win supersedes criticism in the NBA. I'll take it, right? 3-1. They lost against the Bucks. Should never expect them to beat the Bucks, especially on the road. And they lost against the Cavs, a kind of winnable game, but they did everything they're supposed to do. The problem is, on that trend, they have to do something they're not supposed to do. By next week, we have to play the Hawks, we have to play the Sixers, and we have to play the Celtics by next Tuesday. So the Knicks
and Minnesota after that
will be faced with something that they will be elated over or miserable over. But the reality is that all 3 of those games, Vegas will bet on the other team. So by the time we have our Toxic Boy podcast next week, we'll find out what this team really has. Because if they can win 2 of these 3 games, okay, then you start to develop a belief.
Right.
But if they don't, I'm not freaking out either.
Develop it. You start to develop it.
Yes, you start to develop a belief. But if they don't, and they lose these 3 games, I am not going to freak out. I am not toxic, okay? I will just chalk it up to saying those teams deserve to beat us because those teams have the Larry O'Brien on their whiteboard. We do not. We have nothing on our whiteboard.
We don't. The problem is we don't have the Larry O'Brien on our whiteboard, and we don't have the ping pong balls on our whiteboard either, and that's the issue.
How does this front office voluntarily want to be mid? Like, how do Knicks fans?
They want to make the playoffs. We've established this. They want to make the playoffs. revenue, the extra revenue that the MSG group generates from having playoff games at the Garden.
Bro, I understand, but you got this fan base, bro, with the pom-pom wavers that find it offensive when you're objective about the team, when you want the team to do better down the line. Like, bro, I cannot deal with this short-sightedness. Like, of course, entertainment.
For the record, I don't even think Tibbs has done that bad of a job this year, bro.
He hasn't.
Like, I really think this talent is just like not gonna get it done against the elite talent. Maybe the schedule softens up. I don't know. Like, I'm not a schedule guy.
It does in January. In January, gets
okay. So we gotta look, as a fan, as a hardcore fan of this team, we gotta find a way to win some of these games, man. And it's gotta start with that starting five. The first five. Mitchell Robinson cannot be playing to the fact that he ends the game with more fouls than points. He's done that in 3 games.
That's crazy. He did it really in 3 games?
3 games. He has, bro, on the season, Mitchell Robinson has 15 points, 18 rebounds, and 13 fouls in 3 losses.
Why? Do you think it has something to do with Brunson and Fournier on the wings? Or do you think just Mitch is just not?
Bro, I remember Mitchell Robinson last year when we played the Rockets, and I get it, it's the Rockets, right? But when Deuce McBride was in the game and Emmanuel Quickley was in the game, he played with so much joy, and he played with so much, effort because
that's like a guy trying to get paid.
Right, but I'm saying in terms of feeding a big man who's being worked like a dog all night, you need to get him to basketball.
Right.
I'm not saying he has to be given the ball in the post, but the fact of the matter is that this guy is being asked to do too much because he's not that good. He's not as good as Steven Adams. He's not as good as Jared Allen. He's not as good as Brook Lopez.
Not even fucking close.
He's not as good as those players. He's being paid a premium price for a center who's nowhere near those guys. Okay. I would even want to venture to see what Steven Adams is paid and what Brook Lopez is paid compared to Mitchell Robinson. So but those guys are better than him. They're more savvy
with Mitch? Do you think he just sucks, or you think he's trying to make up for Fournier and Brunson and RJ too? Because RJ's been a piece of shit on defense.
Bro, he can't stay on the floor.
But there's that he adds such fouls. He's an offensive liability. Like regardless of how good he is,
he's leaving us. Say what you want about the center position with the Knicks, right? But it has been a strength of this team for the last 2 years because the anchor of the center position, while it hasn't been anything to write home about offensively, it has always been a position that cleans the glass and anchors the defense.
Right.
When Mitchell Robinson leaves the game with foul trouble, more fouls than points, it puts a pressure on Tom Thibodeau to put in a player like Isaiah Hartenstein, who is, and I'm going with the Stein, thanks to Mike Breen, but it puts a pressure on Tibbs to go with what's working.
Right.
Hartenstein, it makes the offense look so much better. And yes, the rebounds is concerning. We lost a game against Memphis because of rebounds. We got more rebounds than Cleveland, 45-43. But my eye test told me that when we needed a rebound, we looked gross. So
where the fouls coming from, no Poppa left?
Fouls are coming from him being beat up in the post, bro.
Okay. Hey, you want to hear a crazy take right now? I know it's going to get me so much slander on Twitter. I know it. But there's an argument there's a very, very good argument to be made that the Knicks are further away from winning a championship now than the year they were going into the Zion draft after they tanked and like they had nothing. Like there's a legitimate argument to be made that they're further away now than then because we're capped out.
Yep.
We have no possibility for top end talent. And we're not going to win anything. There's a very strong argument for that. And here's the thing. It's fairly objective. Like if you ask the typical Knicks fan, are we competing for a chip? They'll say no. Are we going to be top 5 in the lottery? They'll say no. So they legitimately think the way that I think, right? However, when I say it, I'm a hater. I have a narrative. I actively root for the Knicks to lose, Papa. I actively sit there and root for the Knicks to lose. Here's the thing.
It's all a fucking show.
Here's the thing.
It's all a fucking show, Ari. People
Bro.
end up crying with no logic after
Dude.
losses. And they're actually the ones that are toxic. People end up like yelling
Yeah,
at each
yeah,
other and
exactly.
freaking out on each other with no logic, bro, to back it.
Here's the thing, dude. Last year, after February, I wanted the Knicks to lose every single game, and I was very vocal about it. I'm like, I want the Knicks to lose. And I'm telling you right now, I do not want the Knicks to lose right now.
No, I want them to win every
don't.
game.
I don't. I want them to win every game right now. If there's a time where I want the Knicks to lose, trust me, Knicks Twitter will know it because I've told you it in the past. It's not now. All right. I have no narrative. I don't care about any of this, dude. Honestly, I don't care about any of this. All right. Would I have liked the Knicks to either be competing for a chip or tanking? Of course, I would have liked one of those two things to happen, but it's not. So that takes me to my question. What are the solutions, right? So the way I look at it, there's two solutions. And I mentioned this, I think, a little bit last time. There's two solutions. Get rid of Randle and Fournier. Get rid of that big money. Free up some salary cap space. Let Obi slide in. Let Cam and IQ and Grimes get more minutes. Let them slide in. All right. Draft your draft. If you're not going to trade them, draft your draft picks. Right.
Right.
And continue going. Right. Or trade, do like a spider type deal where you're trading Grimes, Obi quickly, and 3 or 4 first-round picks for a Booker or some shit like that, right? There are two options. So let's look at it. Let's look at it from a logical point of view. So if we take option A, you're looking at a team that's probably going to win, I don't know, 30 games, 35 games maybe. You'll probably end up between 6 and 10 in the 6 and 9, maybe like 5 and 10, maybe. You're going to be between 5 and 10 in the lottery. But you have all your salary cap space. You have all your assets, and you know whether Obi Toppin, Emmanuel Quickly, Quinn Grimes, you know if they're good or not. Like you get that information. You learn about those players, right? Draft your players, right? See what you have there, and then make moves next year, right? That's one option. It's option A, okay? And there's option B. I don't know. Bradley Beal wants to trade, and the Wizards suck. He wants to trade at the deadline. Obi, Quickly. Let's say Obi, Grimes. Let's say you keep Quickly. Obi, Grimes, 3 first-round draft picks, like 3 unprotected first-round draft picks. Okay. Now you have Brunson, Beal, RJ, and Randle with literally like you're capped out to the end of fucking time. Okay.
Bro, basketball is going to be a totally different game in 10 years, bro.
I'm talking about the next 2 years though.
I'm just saying, like we talking about Bradley Beal, bro. Like basketball is going to be such a different game in like 10 years, bro.
Were you happier going into the Zion draft, or are you happier now as a Knicks fan? Papa left.
No, I was talking shit. I was talking shit
Great
to
question.
Nets fans. You hear me?
Go ahead. Are you happy?
I remember I went to a Knicks game where we started Noah Vonleh, Frank Ntilikina, Kevin Knox, and Lance Thomas.
Oh shit!
And I went to the Barclays.
Noah Vonleh was a Giannis stopper. Let's call it that.
Strong enough. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Like for me, I was in that game watching D'Angelo Russell cook us up 19 and shit. And I was sitting there saying Zion, Williamson, like, you know what I mean? Like for me, I knew that the Knicks had a unique opportunity in that moment, in that offseason.
The tunnel,
right? So for me, it's like I love the Knicks, bro. I'm passionate about this team. But right now, like I'm in a weird spot with them. Ari, like Jay, people in the chat, like I'm in a weird spot with them where it's like I wanted RJ to be that guy, but RJ's not. He's not like he's not that guy right now. I'm not saying that it's impossible, but the way it looks right now,
Put a percent on it.
Like it's almost like I'm saying like it's 10 to 20% that he's gonna be an all-star at some point.
10%. He's not.
Wow. I think it's a little high. I think it's personally. I think it's a little bit higher than that. I think it's like 20 to 30%.
But the way he's playing right now is that of a spacer and a bad defender, bro. Like,
No, but here's my theory. Here's my thesis on this. Right. I think. Where's that feedback coming in? It's not on my end.
I got feedback.
I don't have anything going.
Someone feedback. All right, whatever. Someone feedback. But I'm saying, my whole theory on RJ is that I don't think he's necessarily going to be an all-star, but I think he's going to. I think he's being misused by the organization. I think it's hard for a guy who needs the ball in his hands to be like the third.
He's got to play, bro. Ari.
If you traded Randall,
Ari,
real quick, he doesn't need the ball, and you let RJ be the number 2, like the real number 2.
Bro. When he's playing with Evan Fournier, if this is the basketball court, right? This is the basketball court, right?
Right.
You have Brunson. You have Randall. Randall come up here. You got Fournier spacing around here. And then you got RJ all the way out here.
Right.
So, like, bro, like it's not gonna happen. Like, he literally doesn't have the real opportunity to do it.
But I'm saying it could happen if you traded Julius Randle, which I've been saying for 3 years now, but no one wants to listen to me. It's the whole point. It's the whole point of my thesis. My argument for trading Randall.
The team would be such a more, forget about marketable. I don't want to use that word. I want to use exciting, a better brand. Like, the team would just be
RJ
so much
would be
clearly
RJ would
set.
be empowered so much, and then Obi actually gets like 30 minutes a game. Bro, when Obi gets 30 minutes, listen, does he have improvement to do? Of course, like every player in the Knicks.
But I would be happy with that team getting 32 wins, 35 wins.
Bro, I'd be ecstatic, bro.
Ecstatic. I'd be popping with that. Yeah.
Bro, I'd be ecstatic because there's light at the end of the tunnel. You have all these young kids, and Obi concerns me when you can't close out on 5 consecutive Kevin Love threes. That's a problem. When Cam Reddish is coming over to kind of shadow your guy and put his hand up in time, like, bro, get into his jersey, get into his chest. And I don't know if it's a defensive concept, but that shit concerns me. But anyway, if there's light at the end of the tunnel, where you can tell me that I'm gonna get a top 7 pick in this year's draft, and I got these guys coming down the pipeline, and whatever RJ is cool. But if I can organically really rebuild this team properly, the playoff team, I'm happy. Like, this middle of the road, meddling with Derrick Rose.
That's the problem. The middle of the road.
Randall. Bro, we're wasting our time. But Knicks fans promote this garbage, bro. They promote this garbage. They get on the timeline. They get on these spaces and say, oh, we had a great time. This team is not going to lose games. We got to move forward. We have to just celebrate the product. Nah, bro, you guys are celebrating mediocrity. This is not okay.
I think there's an angle. I think they're trying to do it to generate buzz and excitement. I think it's like fraudulent. I think it's fraudulent, bro. Dude, the fact that Knicks Twitter celebrated that hard after a Charlotte's Hornets win at home without Bridges or LaMelo is like...
No, it's emotion, bro. It's pure emotion, bro.
I think it's pure just trying to make it, like, create some buzz. I think it's like a motive. I think it's like a financial motive. So it makes no fucking logical sense.
No, I think that they really be happy with the mediocrity, bro. I think they have the entertainment value of the team. I mean, I don't know, bro. Maybe that's why I'm a toxic boy. I don't know. I can't see past it, bro. But like, I think
they just want people to like talk, like
yeah,
they want to generate the buzz and the Knicks won. Like, yeah, we won. Everyone come in and talk to us because we won. And it's like,
it'd be a positive fan than be a toxic boy. It's easy to be in that because more people gravitate towards. People don't call Knicks fan TV and say, "Oh, these guys are what are the fuck are these guys talking about?" It's easy to be on that side of the
absolutely.
Ultimately,
every once in a while, someone will call on Knicks fan TV and be like, "What are these guys talking about?" But not all the time.
Yeah, without us calling it's all flowers and Manscaped, which is cool. But listen, if we're gonna build this thing out, like I've been harping on, I was a happier fan doing it. I was a happier fan with Kevin Knox checking it up because I can see possible talent getting on this team. But now,
right, that's what I'm saying. Like, people would ask me, like, what is like a successful season to me?
Are we stuck with Julius Randle like this Julius Randle Brunson thing for 5 years? Are we
Listen, dude, eventually, I think it's going to be at the end. I think it's going to be at the end of this year. At the end of this year, the Knicks are going to have to choose like Randall or Obi because Obi's camp is not going to just accept this. Like, bro, I see Obi sometimes, and listen, does he have to get better on rotations on defense?
Right.
He's a lot of things to prove on. All right, there's no doubt about it. But if you look at just the advanced analytics and the analytics that he has, not just analytics, but just regular statistics when he's on the floor versus when he's off the floor, and his statistics and his shooting percentage and all this stuff is off the charts. 11th in PER and all power forwards in the league. Randall's like 24th.
Right.
Obi makes 1/8 the amount of money that Julius Randle makes, 12%, right? 12.5%. All right.
Right.
Obi does this. Like, I played ball I know people don't believe me, but like I legitimately played. I was like really playing ball. Like I played ball for real, for AAU ball. I played against the Gauchos. I played against Danny Green, Andrew Bynum. I played a lot of people. I'm only 5'9", and I'm not like I wasn't like killing it, but I was on the team. All right, and I'm telling you right now, as someone who's played basketball on those levels,
right.
I can't operate when you give me 8 minutes. Like you get 4 minutes here, you get 4 minutes here. It's like I can't do that. Like me personally, as someone who played basketball, I need my. And listen, I was a point guard, so it was a little different. But like, I need my coach to let me be free.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if I make a mistake, give me a little leash. Like, all right, if I make 3-4 mistakes in a row, pull me. But I'm saying like, I make a mistake, or I miss a shot, like. I need to be able to be in my bag, you know what I'm saying? Like, do my thing, like, get in my confidence. Obi has none of that.
Right.
And
we gotta figure out. Are we trying to compete? Are we trying to compete? Or are we trying to develop? Because this idea that you could do it both at the same time is with Tibbs calling timeouts because he's pissed off, and he's trying to preserve a win and preserve a run.
Both efficiently, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Bro, it's impossible, bro. Obi Toppin, but I want to see Obi Toppin get more serious about like doing winning things outside of. I mean, he does winning things, but like I think about like the Randle offensive rebound and put back against Charlotte in that game.
He ain't perfect, bro. He's not perfect, but I'm saying he's a cheap replacement.
You get there, like instead of like running out on the break, like he missed the rotation running back to try to get like an easy dunk in this last Cavs game, like. Nah, bro, get your ass on the block and get rebounds and do the dirty work once in a while to be a winning player. And then maybe
that's what I'm saying like, and Tibbs pulls him for that. But why ain't Tibbs pulling Randall for doing his bullshit, turning the ball over, tunnel vision, all this shit? Like there needs to be a level of accountability at the same standard for everybody on the team, dude. If anything, it should be a higher standard for the longer you've been there, the higher standard you should technically have. Right. And it's like it works like that in any other industry in the world. The more senior you are, the more money you get paid, the more responsibility you have, the more pressure you have to do the right thing, right? But that's not how it works for the Knicks. It's all optics, all CA bullshit, and it's all Randall's our guy. Listen, I'm just gonna tell you right now. There's Brunson, there's Randall, and RJ. There's no way, like. When I'm talking about 0% chance, I'm talking about like 0.000000001% chance that RJ, Randall, and Brunson are winning a chip. All three of them making that money. It's never going to happen. Never. So now, first principles thing. You know what first principles thinking is? You think from the first principle, second principle downwards, right? So that's not going to happen. So now what conclusion do you make after that? All right, if you want to win a chip, one of those three has to go. Okay. So probably it's not going to be Jalen Brunson, even though he's like high mid. He's not like mid, but he's high mid, but he's not like elite. But he's staying from what we've seen. And from what we've seen last year. It's not even just this year. So I don't take 6 games into account that much. But from what he did this year and last year, he's definitely staying. Good for him. We got a point guard because he made Randall better also. He made Randall like less ball, right?
Right.
So let's say he stays. What does that leave you? That leaves you RJ and Randall. if you're going to stick through first principles thinking, one of those two has to go in order to free up cap space to either get a higher draft pick or to either get assets or whatever to build around it and do that.
But does Brunson sit through a tanking season, a losing season? This is what I'm saying. Like the concept
He's stuck here for now.
Doesn't make any sense because the talent ain't there. Like, yo, why is he here? Why do we have somebody?
His dad is the assistant coach, bro. His godfather is the GM of the Knicks. He has his own team, which he runs, making $25 million a year in fucking Madison Square Garden. Why is he here? That's why he's here.
But does he take a tanking season though? Does he take a step back and say, yo, if
he's gonna take a step back. He's not gonna have a choice. He's out of those three. Jay, question to you: Brunson, Randle, RJ. Rank the most likely to stay here and the most likely to leave out of those three. Be traded.
Damn, that's a tough one, bro. Shit. All right, Brunson is most likely to stay based on his connection.
Okay, so we agree there, obviously.
The second most likely to be traded, got to be RJ, bro.
Wow.
Got to be RJ. And then Randle, Randle, and then Randle's safer than RJ to me. Age, contract, they didn't draft him. I keep saying this. This regime did not draft RJ Barrett. They dangled him out there like a carrot in the Donovan.
They also didn't sign Julius Randle, right?
But I feel like they hold on to Randle based on the Players Tribune article that we read based on it.
Yeah, CIA bullshit.
Yeah, all that bullshit. He seems safer than RJ at the end of the day. Like this, bro. This is like. I don't know.
All right, so here's a question to you: who would you like them between RJ and Randle? Who would you like? Like if we both agree that Brunson out of those three is the keeper,
right?
And we both agree that the Knicks are not going to win a championship with Brunson, RJ, and Randle making that money.
Right.
Logically speaking, just a logic proof. This is what I did in law school. Logic proofs, proving logic, right?
Right.
What Randle or RJ need to go in order for the Knicks to compete? So you're saying that Randle's the most likely to stay and RJ's the most likely to leave, but that's based off of the Knicks.
Right.
I'm talking about based off of Jay from Florida. Who's more likely? Who do you think is more likely? And to be honest, don't fuck with me right now.
Who's more likely to go?
No, if you were the GM, if you had a choice, getting rid of RJ, 22 years old, shooting like shit, sucking, or Julius Randle, 28 years old or whatever, 27, 28,
right,
playing making a little bit more money at a certain higher age. Who you keeping? Who you selling?
I'm keeping RJ, bro. I gotta keep RJ.
Okay, I'm with you.
I gotta keep RJ. You got to see what he got. I don't think he's nowhere near All-Star.
No, he's not. No, he's not. We're on the same page there. We align there. Poppa.
Get Evan Fournier the fuck out of here so I can watch.
After Boston. After they play Boston, get him out.
No, just get him the fuck out of here, all right? Get Evan Fournier the fuck out of here. And get Quentin Grimes' foot ready to go, and let's have a season. I can't watch RJ play in the corner. Can't watch RJ play in the corner and then get exposed on defense. I can't watch Quentin Grimes in his fucking high fashion every night. I can't watch Cam Reddish shoot the basketball like a fucking dumbass. Can't watch Mitchell Robinson leave games with more fouls than points. I can't watch Julius Randle clankage from the perimeter. I can't watch fucking Isaiah Hartenstein get bullied on the boards for 5 times for every one hustle play that he executes.
Right.
I can't watch fucking Emmanuel Quickly late in the possession act like he has a bag to create his own shot, but in all reality, he's just chucking up a contested three. Yeah. I can't watch Obi Toppin fucking be a non-factor in a half-court set.
Right.
I just, to me, all that starts with that first unit and the fact that RJ gets iced out from tip off, and I'm not saying
why are you getting iced out?
Because, bro, I told you, the court looks like this, and RJ is here, bro.
So who's that? That's Hibbs.
Get Evan Fournier the fuck out of here, bro. He serves no purpose for this franchise.
Optics.
Bro,
But I'm just tired of it. Like,
bro,
I'm like, I don't.
This Leon Rose is doing a good job, bro. They tell us I see it all day on Twitter. Like, how can he possibly be doing a good job when he fielded his roster? It's so
Jay, they're doing a good job. Leon Rose is doing a good job because saying as a content creator, Leon Rose is doing a good job gives you a 0.0001% chance of getting a likelihood signing for the Knicks. And that's why these idiots say that. That's why they say it, dude. They think they're gonna get jobs from the Knicks. So they're like, you know what? I can't slander these people. I'm trying to get on their side. So I can't do it. But we could do it because we don't care, right? And that's the moral of the fucking story, man. And honestly, the biggest thing, my biggest pet peeve is that when you say objectively, if someone disagrees with me in the chat, say you disagree with me in the chat, state your name and we'll talk. But this team is clearly stuck in mediocrity. Like, you're not getting a top 5 pick. You're not getting to the Eastern Conference Finals or even the second round of the playoffs. All right. How are you improving your team if your team is capped out right now? Give me your answer. Give me an answer. Give me a solution. So people ask for my solution. My solution is trade Randle, trade Fournier, free up that cap, make a run in 2024, let Obi Toppin work through all his issues. So if the Knicks lose every game, mazel fucking tov, that's great. We'll get a high draft pick, and Obi's going to get more reps in. If Obi does great, then wow, great. We have a potential all-star on our team, right?
Right.
And literally get rid of Fournier so Grimes and all these people could play. If we suck, great, we get a high pick. If we're great, awesome, we get we could recruit people to come here, or we can make trades. Our total team value is worth more because we have better players and we can trade them or whatever. Great, like we're competing. Or versus being stuck in mediocrity. It's like where you don't get either one of those. So me being an objective fan, being like, listen, ideally, I knew the Knicks weren't going to compete for a chip. So ideally, like Ari from Manhattan, I would have never signed Brunson. I would have never done any of this shit. I would have tried to tank for Wembayama. I would have gotten a high draft pick. I would have drafted all my guys, run it back, and do like an organic rebuild. See who stays, see who goes, and do an organic rebuild. Like,
do you guys look at Josh Primo?
What?
I mean, listen, I don't know much about how good he is, but
Good. She's a great shooter. He gets to the lane. Like, he's a good player.
think he got domestic abuse or some shit going on.
He
find out what it is though.
He exposed himself to a couple women.
All right, so listen, I don't know.
I sound like a beginning to some true crime, bro. Me and wifey been watching stalking documentaries.
So
Papa's been working for the ACLU for like a fucking month.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to figure out a way to get talent on this team. And I know
how do you do it? So there's two options. Again, build around Randle, RJ, and Fournier, which means you bring in another star. Unless that star is Giannis, Luka, or Jokic. Unless it's one of those three guys, you're ruined. You're setting yourself back 10 years.
All right. Well, we're not gonna get any of these players, bro. So
there it is. You're setting yourself back.
I just want to get rid of Leon Rose, bro, and get a real regime in there that knows what they're doing. I just can't with this mediocre shit. So before we get into our final fucking thoughts for the night, what's your prediction for the next week? I mean, you didn't give me a win-loss record for the next 5 games. What do you got?
Who we got
next Tuesday?
Hawks, Philly, Celtics, T-Wolves, Nets.
Hawks.
I'll go 2 and 3. I think we can split the next 2. I think we can take one in the next 3, and I think we can. I think we can beat the Nets because the Nets are gonna be a team that's still trying to like deal with all their distractions, and the Knicks are due for a win against Brooklyn.
I'm going 1-4.
Who they get the one?
Hawks.
Bro, the Hawks are better than us, bro. Like I don't understand where people think like we're
I feel
gonna
like
beat the Hawks.
I feel like the Knicks could beat the T-Wolves for some reason.
Maybe. Is
I
it
remember we had one of the worst losses against the T-Wolves last year. We also had a fucking remember the COVID year? We almost had like this wild collapse of 20 against the T-Wolves at home with Ricky Rubio and shit.
Yeah.
Rubio been killing us.
Yeah. But
that's crazy.
Look, man, I think the team can rally around a couple of these wins if they can get them, because it would show them that look, have we seen the Knicks compete every night? Absolutely.
Right.
So I don't think there's a problem about competition.
It's about winning.
But it's about winning, right? They have to win one of these games they're not supposed to. And so far, they've won the games they're supposed to win, and they lost the games they're supposed to lose. They got to overtime in game one.
Right.
The other two games were not particularly close in the fourth quarter. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for me.
So 1-4.
Final thoughts, Jay.
Mitchell Robinson's not worth save your worth every penny tweets, because he's not worth every penny right now. Brooke Lopez is making $14 million a year. Steven Adams is making $17 million a year.
Right.
They're worth the pennies.
Right.
They play. They're not in stupid foul trouble. They're not getting outplayed by their backups.
Bob, is this the your own, or is this a fake your own?
That's got to be that could be heck for all we know. Could be heck for all we know.
Yeah, Papa's had a week.
Where we got to get serious about really building out a team that can really compete. Like, I don't care if Brunson turns water into wine for the next 40 games, bro. Like, at the end of the day, you got to put real talent on the court to win in the NBA. This is a talent-driven league. If you don't got the talent, you can't win anything. I'm in a position where I want to see the team at least get to Eastern Conference Finals, at the very least. The whole regime, and I've been saying this since last year, I do not care if y'all call me toxic, who cares? The whole regime needs to be reset. We need guys in here that understand how organic rebuild works and can take these actions.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think on the way out, right? On the way out, like, what do you guys think about the Nets pulling the plug on Steve Nash?
I think it's going to work in their favor, because I think Ime is going to get.
I think Steve Nash sucked, honestly.
Nash ain't no NBA coach, bro.
Do you feel like that? You know, I keep seeing the Nets being depicted as a team that's, you know, doing all the wrong things, which, you know, you could definitely make the argument there. But do you feel like they're doing things that we as an organization are not comfortable doing?
Yeah.
Like, could you ever see the Knicks firing Tom Thibodeau?
No.
Like, I just don't even see it, bro.
No, they would never do it. It's too optic driven. It's too bad. The Knicks like the Yankees now. Same bullshit. You got the Yankees get gas from everybody else.
The Yankees are awful, bro.
But I mean, the same optics. It's based off optics and the look more than what's logically better for the franchise. So no, they're not going to do any of that. And I think the Nets are going to be.
I just hope that over the next 5 games, I hope RJ gets on one of these hot streaks that he gets on, and I just hope that the kid really flourishes within his role, man. Because you know he's got to hit his shots. He's got to impact the game. He's got to hit it. You know, it's troubling right now for me, and I want him to be the guy, but he's playing in the corners, bro. I can't deal with Evan Fournier getting these looks,
bro. Evan Fournier, like you've been saying the whole. Evan Fournier is playing, bro. Evan Fournier is not giving you anything to warrant not playing Cam Reddish. Or
he plays like 10 to 12 possessions a night where Evan Fournier. No, I won't say 10.
$80 million.
6 to 8 possessions a night where Fournier is literally like bringing the ball up. He's isolated. He's doing a lot of shit with the basketball in his hands.
He plays no defense. He shies the shot crate, which he can't do, and he misses mad threes. There's no point in playing him. You play the kids. You see what you have in the toolings that you got, and go from there. There's no
Optics, Shay,
reason.
optics.
Bro, it's ridiculous, bro. Like, come on. This 40 experiment got to stop. It can't go more than 20 games.
It's optics.
Also the way
Optics,
they
I'm
lost,
telling
the way they lost against Milwaukee and Cleveland was just not fun.
Correct.
You know, like I can't express to you how, like, if I wasn't doing like content and if I wasn't, you know, like looked at as a voice for the team, I'll be honest, like, what would there really be to talk about?
You shut the game off because it ain't there to talk about. Absolutely. Bro,
It's really, and I want it to be exciting, but
right.
let me just break it down like this. The Knicks Pistons game was holistically boring until the
Right.
Pistons cut the lead to 14.
Right.
Right? The Magic game was really boring until they cut the lead to like 6.
That was a Tibbs offense, baby. This is what it is.
Hornets game was boring until we were about to lose. And like, I'm not saying that that I need the game to be in flux for it to be interesting. That's not the truth. But the way we play basketball,
the brand
is no good. And honestly, the brand could be good with Tibbs if they just lean into their defense and transition. But they got to find the right collection of 5 from the get. I'm tired of my center falling out of the game. I'm tired of my shooting guard being a complete liability on defense. And I'm tired of that second unit coming in and providing a completely different dynamic that the first unit does not have. So when the second unit is on, in the back of my head, I know that the first unit has to come back in, and they're going to fuck up the flow. And then if the second unit is off, I know that I'm relying on the first unit to come back in and have an efficient shooting half that they had in the first. It's just not together. And there's a lot of guys on the team that are trying to prove something individually, but I don't see that, I don't see that
collective.
And that's what you need to win against teams that don't need that level of an effort, bro. Did Cleveland have a great game on Sunday?
No.
Did Cleveland have a great game on Sunday?
Wade put the clamps on RJ.
But I'm saying, did they have a great game, bro?
Nah, but it was entertaining.
They looked very average. They looked whatever, and they still won the game because Spider's out there zipping passes. Right? They're spacing the court where it needs to be in isolation.
Right.
So I'm sick of shit, but like,
Yeah.
I think tomorrow night's a cool game, right? I think tomorrow night's a good game.
Do you think? I know you don't want Fournier. Are y'all interested in watching Derrick Rose for the rest of the season? Like seeing what he does for that second unit, how many shots he takes. I mean, Derrick Rose.
I mean, he would make us absolutely better, but no, I'm not into it. Why would I be into it?
Sometimes you need him, bro. I think sometimes you need him though, because here's my thing.
Not gonna do anything at the end.
Here's my thing though. Like, I'm all for players who like miss or make. They know what they want to do, bro.
Quickly.
Does not know what he wants to do.
Yeah.
Does not know what he wants to do on the court.
He chucks it, bro.
No, Derrick Rose knows what he wants to do on a basketball court.
So
Jalen Brunson knows what he wants to do on a basketball court. Yeah. And I think Quentin Grimes knows what he wants to do on a basketball court. Like, Quentin Grimes will miss a fucking bunch of threes, but he shoots because he knows that that's his shot.
Right.
Quickly just, let me do my James Harden shit and see if it works.
Right.
Obi, should I be shooting this 3 right now? Should I be doing the dribble handoff?
Right.
And the reason why I bring this up is because when Derrick Rose is in the game, he instills that like osmosis of confidence within other guys. He plays at that pep, at that pace that gets people like, yo, early in the shot clock, you gotta look.
He does it a little bit too.
You don't think
bro. Off a make, yes. Off a make, off a miss, off a make, yes. Off a miss, I'm saying he gets the ball out and he pushes, right? But in the half court, bro, it's just a lot
It's different.
of
It's
a
different.
lot of
Okay.
action to get a nothing shot, bro.
Why can't we see D Rose put Obi in a pick and roll downhill, dive into the hoop?
Tibbs, bro. That's the Mitch spot. That's the Mitch spot.
We're never gonna see Obi.
Let's read some comments
Tibbs
before we
won't.
bounce, though.
Yeah, Tibbs won't play Obi at the 5. All right, I'm gonna go through some comments right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna highlight them, and then I'm gonna wrap this shit up. All right, so
Fuck.
where are we going? Oh my god, so many comments. All right. First of all, before we do the comments, we have what do we have? 20. We need to get. I want 5 more likes. I want 5 more likes. I'll take a shot. We take 5 more likes. Like this thing. It's the only way this thing's gonna get bigger.
Hit that subscribe button, hit notifications.
Yeah. Run it up, Jay. Say it.
Run it up.
There you go. Yeah, you know what the funniest thing is? Deej stole your running up, but you also stole Deej's piece to the room. It's both. Damn, I'm fucked up. All right, so salute to Craig. I'm gonna highlight Craig Williams. Craig Williams, the only way we get a rebuild is if Leon is fired. I know Jay approves of that message. Papa, thoughts on that?
On who? On the only way we get a rebuild is Leon's fired?
Yeah.
No, I'm not sold on that yet.
All right.
I'm literally in the middle of you two. I think it's more likely to happen than not, but I'm also with Papa. Like, I'm not sold on that.
Well, I'm saying, they're going to keep Brunson, and Brunson's going to keep them afloat. But when you say the word rebuild, I don't think rebuild means tank.
No, it doesn't, and that's what the Knicks should be doing. The Knicks should be rebuilding.
Right.
We're not going to be able to tank right now.
I think this year they give it a shot, and I think Tibbs is the guy that really is. And again, like Leon's connected to Tibbs, so to answer your question, Craig, like, can I answer it being confident that Leon would give Tibbs the boot?
All right, so Nishi's going 0-5.
She's also going 0-7.
Nishi's the toxic.
She called it 0-7 from the 7-game stretch last week.
The first lady of toxic is Nishi.
Shout out to Sister Nishi Love.
Shout out to Nishi.
Shout out to the ladies.
There you go. Fucking Papa left. Got Pizen poisoned. You got Pizen poisoned at his Utah hotel right now, and he came in with the theme music, and he's still here doing his damn thing.
Pizza poison. That's funny.
Shout out Pastor Claudio, Paul Collins. Are you related to Phil Collins? I'll just assume you are. Nick Scar, Jeffrey Eason, Craig Williams, Todd. Obviously, Todd's an honor. If Todd comes back and contributes a little bit more, maybe makes a couple likes, a couple of shares on the YouTube or whatever, we'll make him a mod because Todd is an honorary toxic point, and also one of the top 5 intellectuals on Nick's Twitter, because his logic actually makes sense.
He's a lawyer, by the way, Todd.
I know. So am I. So that's how I know. But I'm saying, like, if you have the lawyer aspect, like the logic, like the things he says,
right?
The things he also says, they're incongruent with each other. Like it's not illogical. You know what I'm saying? Like they make thinking one thing and thinking the other thing will make sense together. Most people, their opinion is based off of what they think other people is gonna like more, right? It's all based on other people. Like, oh, do I get social credit points for saying this?
Group thing.
Or do I get social credit points for doing this?
Right.
Todd has an actual principled ideology that he abides by.
No, you should be able to push back and say what's on your mind, bro, at all times.
Absolutely.
Yo, your own show. Is it? Were you the guy talking on Knicks Fan TV? Are you? I know you're a member of the tribe, pal, but were you the one that was talking about me and Papa on Knicks Fan TV? Because that's like hate on hate crime, bro. You can't be doing that, all right?
Hate on hate crime.
What do we have? Nick Scar, Suffer Knicks, Banksy's in Knicks Twitter. Fournier has a tough new hairline. I didn't notice that, but salute to Fournier. Yeah, so listen, I'll do my final takes and we'll wrap this up. So my final take is this. Number one, there's nothing that I learned new of this team from last year. I figured we'd be a 500 team. We're actually 500. The teams I thought we would beat, we actually beat. The teams I thought we would lose to, we actually lost to. So, like Poppa left, or it was Poppa or Jay, one of you two made a very good point where it's like, it's not about the win-loss record. It's about like player development and, just acquiring assets and adding assets, right?
Right.
And that's my take. That's my official take. But I have not seen anything right now, with the exception of maybe Obi. But besides, like, RJ's disappointed me so far. Listen, I'm not going to judge him. I'm not going to say he sucks. I don't think he sucks. Okay, I don't think he sucks. I don't think he's great. I don't think he sucks because he had bad games. Right. But the only from my expectations going on to this year, the only positive I could take away so far is Obi and that we have a point guard. Not a good point, not a great point guard, not a bad point guard, but we have a point guard and Obi. That's the only thing I take. So obviously I feel like we're stuck in mediocrity.
I think we have good depth. I think we have like a bunch of guys like where you're just gonna hit. You're gonna hit 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10 a night.
Well, it didn't work against Cleveland, Memphis, and
that's because they're better. That's what I'm saying. Like, I could be hard on RJ, I could be easy on him, but the fact of the matter is that there's 30 NBA teams out there on a night-to-night basis. More times than not, he's not going to be anywhere near the best player on the court.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Listen.
But I don't need him to be, but I need him to do something, man.
Here's the thing about RJ.
To be involved and do something, man.
Here's the thing about RJ, dude. Like, after New Year's last year, like, he really was fucking good.
I can't wait till New Year's, bro.
Bro, I can't.
No, I'm not saying it's going to happen again. I'm not saying it's not going to happen again. I'm saying we saw a consistent level of play from this guy from January 1st to like April 18th. So you're looking January, February, March, April. You're looking at 4 months. And granted, it's a lot of it is meaningless months, right? Because people are tanking. Like, a lot of it is that. I agree. But the dude is still balling. Let's not cut that out there. Like, he sucks now. He sucked beforehand, but he had a solid stretch. This is not a 1 month stretch. It's not a 2 week stretch. This is like a legitimate 4 month stretch of basketball at this guy.
We can't wait for that this year, though. We can't wait.
We're gonna lose. We're gonna lose too many.
We're gonna lose regardless. But I'm saying, like,
we'll win. We'll win if RJ plays well, bro.
I tell you what, man. That unit I was talking about, that Randle, ihart, Brunson, RJ Reddish unit. That unit shoots like 4.
Wait, Randle, ihart, Reddish,
Brunson, and RJ. They shoot like 54% from the field, and they score when they're out there.
What about the defense?
I ain't looking to the defense, but the offense is. But the offense, if Tibbs needs to score, that's the lineup to go to.
All right, fellas. I'm about to pass out. So,
all right, Papa, give your final thoughts and bounce, then Jay, and then me. Let's go.
All right, look, man. It's by the time next week happens, I need to see the Knicks. Forget about the game on the road against Philly, right? I need to see the Knicks defend home court and win one of those games.
Absolutely.
Beat Atlanta, beat Boston, figure out a way to win one of those games. I don't care about the 6 games that started the season. I don't care about the schedule as a whole in the 7-game stretch. We deal with what we have right now. You got a game sandwiched in the middle at Philly, whatever. They got Embiid, they got Harden. We'll see if those guys show up to play. If they show up to play, we're fucked. But you're at home. You got the fans on your side.
Right.
You got momentum. Can you build it across 36 minutes? Get me to the 4th quarter in the Garden against the Hawks and the Celtics. Find a way to win one of those games. And then you open the door to possibilities of me having some belief in this team. But you got to figure out how to win one of these games, bro, especially at home.
Jay?
I gave my final thoughts, man. I mean, we gotta move forward and get rid of these 48 minutes, man. If we can put Reddish out there with RJ
and the season doesn't start till Quentin Grimes is playing.
And Quentin Grimes got to give him some good minutes too, man. So and these next 5 games are extremely important, bro. All the way to Thanksgiving, extremely important in terms of what we do this season. What's your final thoughts, Ari?
So my final thoughts are basically that I know where this team is. There's anywhere between a 400 win team to a 600 win team, right? You're in that range.
Right.
You're either going to be a 6 seed at your best or a 10 seed at your worst. Be 6 to 10. Whether you make the playoffs, great. You don't get a lottery pick, but you get fucking washed first round. Or you get a lottery pick, but you're like the 11th pick in a 10-person draft, right? We've seen this happen before, right? So I don't give a shit about the win-loss record at all. I care about seeing the players take a step. Like, is RJ going to take a step? Is Obi going to take a step? Is Cam going to take a step? Is Quickly going to take a step? Sims, whoever, it doesn't matter. Is Brunson going to take a step? It doesn't matter.
Right.
Who's going to add? So basically in business is this term called total net value of the value of the whole organization, right? I need the total net value of the Knicks organization to go up. I don't care about the wins or losses. I just need that wherever level of value on it, you're a negative asset or a positive asset, whatever asset you are, you've trended towards the positive direction so we get more for you in the future. That's all I care about, man. That's it. And like ideally, I'd like Randle and Fournier to be gone. So we're going into next year with cap space.
And Rose.
Yeah. Listen, Rose is awesome. I love Rose, but yeah, he could go too. If we're gonna rebuild, let's rebuild. Like I agree with that. Like there's a certain standpoint. But it's never going to happen because we're going to always chase the playoffs. We're going to always chase excitement, be mediocre. It's not going to happen, right? But if you're trying to build a chip, clean your books out, develop your players, draft the 3 guys you have this year, or consolidate, move up, draft a nice guy or whatever, add him to the rotation and do what every organization in the entire NBA does. Develop their players and fucking increase their value. So that's pretty much it for me. And the last thing I'll say before I sign off, we've been here for an hour and 27 minutes. I have 27 likes. If we can get 3 more likes, I'll take a double shot of this guy, right? Well, this guy, if we get 3 more likes to 30, I'll take a double shot of that. No big deal.
Thank you to everybody that tuned in tonight, that joined us for the episode. We really appreciate you guys.
100%.
Love it.
Yeah. Ari, how do you feel about Elon Musk?
Twitter?
Yeah.
I mean, listen. If we go here, we go here. So basically, I mean, who would I rather run Twitter? A group of board of directors who is a combined board own literally 1.2% of the company as a combined board, or some private individual who has enough money to back himself to buy something as a hobby to fix it and improve it. And it just so happens to be the guy who's literally brought man to moon for 1/20th of the price of NASA, percentage-wise per inflation, 1/20th the cost. The guy that does Neuralink, Boring Company, and the guy who's doing the most thing for the climate, basically making gas cars go away for electric cars. Who would I rather have running the company? A bunch of bureaucrats who own less than 1% of the company, or the smartest, most intelligent?
What do you think Twitter needs to improve on?
They're going to start paying content creators.
Good for us. Perfect.
But not that great, because the economics is not going to work that great. It's going to be a grind, but it is good. Overall, it's good for us, but not that good.
It's fair.
Every other content creation company does that. YouTube does that. They pay their content creators.
How about you, Jay?
Facebook, same shit.
Oh, you want me to do it one more time?
Joe,
Want me to sign out with it?
Sign out with it.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I'll give you the Knicks starting lineup. How about that?
Yeah.
You ready? Hold on. Shout out to Hertz. My phone's on 1%, so if it dies, it dies. Shout out to Ivan Drago.
Ivan Drago.
Yo, when you open it, I'm dying.
I'll go with the Knicks. If it dies, it dies.
We'll do one more. No
All
big
right,
deal.
take a shot. Take a shot. I think my phone's gonna die. And now, your New York Knicks. At guard from France, a traffic cone on defense. Way too much usage.
Ooh.
Yeah, my phone died. Evan Fournier. Yeah, my phone died. Fuck it. Yeah, man. Toxic
Shout
boys.
out for Knicks with fire quality. Yo, we out. Listen, shout out for Knicks. Nishi, First Lady of Toxic Boys. Killer Kamikaze. I don't know if that's Cash or not. Brandon Hunter. Tremel White. The Your Own Show. I don't know if you were the guy that was talking smack, but you're always welcome. Listen, man.
Wasted, my brother.
Huh?
You look wasted.
Nah, I got allergies, dog.
It's a great line.
All right, my brothers. Episode.
All right, y'all. Be easy. See you next Tuesday, y'all.
Deuces.